What's up? My name is Cynthia, and my channel is the ThreadedNerd. I'm starting this channel to do a couple of things, which is one, fix my mental health, and find my joy and confidence that I'm missing again. And two, I want to start my own t-shirt and apparel store that has bold and sarcastic apparel for weirdos that don't fit in. Why, you may ask? Well, because I'm that weirdo. I have really never fit in. And in fact, some of my close personal friends might have recently said that one word to describe me since they've known me is crazy. And I suck at peopling, so I would rather say what I'm thinking on a t-shirt than start a conversation at times. And please, don't act like you haven't thought the same thing. Come on now. When I was in my teens and my 20s, yeah, I could see that. I was 100% the person that you didn't put on speakerphone. Because either, like, whatever would come out of my mouth would either make a sailor blush, or people would hear a hard truth they probably didn't want to, or I was the reason why HR policies were put into place. Couple might have had a little bit there. And anyways, bear with me here, guys. Like, this is my first video. This is the first time I'm really putting myself out here. I am super nervous and super weirded out to be on camera because it's not something I normally do, but I'm going to try. I am a very, very honest person, and I'm a loyal Leo. I know the value of true friendship, love, and meaning, which that means I can count on one hand the people in my life that I trust. And I don't like bullies or liars. But today at 45, in peri-menopause, and literally feeling kicked down again and again by what life throws at you, especially over the last, let's say, 8 months, wow. I realize, and very emotionally, because I'm starting to tear up, that I'm a shell of the person that I used to be. I also realized that I started people-pleasing and not saying things out loud and suppressing who I was. All because I had friends or people that would tell me that I'm a light. And I felt like I needed to dim my light a little bit to appease them and to be friends with them. Looking back, that's kind of a regret. I've also realized that while my life is not bad, I've been struggling mentally with finding joy, my confidence, and just overall contentment. I'm realizing that I'm now on a journey to try to find a new version of myself that is a mix of like who I was and who I'm meant to be. I want to find my tribe, as it's been referred to. Rob the Maritimer, thanks for your videos on your self-confidence and how to do this, because you know what? It kind of gave me the actual kick I needed to actually make this video. I was getting so caught up in what I looked like and my confidence, wasn't sure I could do it. But I really want to thank you and have that shout out to you, because it's been very helpful. And it reminds me I need to have faith in myself, and I can do this. I want to find fellow weirdos, nerds, gamers, equestrians, and booktok peeps, by the way. I'm a booktok girly, that are sarcastic, honest, and real. People who find some enjoyment in the things that I find fun and entertaining. I know that I'm no longer the girl I was when I was 20. And Jesus, that was literally 25 years ago. Where the fuck did time go? But you know what? I'm also sick. of not feeling like myself when I look in the mirror and not seeing who I was. I'm also feeling like I don't have a reason like I want to smile. And it's hard to accept that I've become someone that I never thought I would be. And I'm trying to figure out if I'm happy with the person that I have become or if I need to change. The emotional roller coaster, and being that I was brought up in the part of the Gen X generation in the 80s and 90s and 2000s, I heard quite often, if you want to cry, I'll give you something to cry about. So I learned very early on that showing emotions, tears, and letting people see that side of me was not something that we shared. I was taught to be independent, fight for what I believe in, and be honest and truthful. Like, that's always been a core of me. Like, I'm always that person that's an honest and truthful person. Like I said, some people might hate me for it at the time when I'm being honest and truthful with them, but I would rather them hate me at the time than not be honest and I didn't tell them the truth, you know? Also, do you know how annoying it is to cry when you've been raised like this? I feel like I'm in puberty 2.0 times 10 and peri-menopause shows up. What the fuck? Why the hell did no one warn us about freaking peri-menopause and menopause? Where was that slight conversation in health class when we were growing up in high school? What happened to that? Sorry, slightly neurotic tangent. Also, who the hell sold us on the corporate America mindset? I mean, really. Literally working to make somebody else more successful while you're getting nothing but the stress and time taken away from you. I mean, I started working when I was 13 to save money for things that I wanted. I wasn't given an allowance when I was a kid. I had to earn everything that I ever bought or that was mine. So, first guitar, had to pay for it myself. $500, had to save that up. My first vehicle, I had to save up for it myself, $1,500, you know? So I feel like I've been working 5 years longer than when I was actually considered an adult. And dude, I might as well be 50 at this point in working years. I've been babysitting, you know, mucking out stalls, working around the ranch property that I grew up on just to save a couple of bucks. I was dealing with very adult things at a very young age that most kids don't even dream of at this point, you know? So now it feels like I've just hit a burnout. And, you know, it's hard not to be overwhelmed by that sometimes. And, you know, my husband and I recently found ourselves out of a job. Both of us. Luckily, I mean, we were smart with money. We saved. We made sure that we had a backup plan in case anything like this ever happens. So I've got the time now, not being stuck to a normal 9 to 5, to really dial in and start selling my shirts and start doing some things that are more for me and working for myself. I really want that sense of accomplishment of being able to actually sell things that I've created, that I've made. Like, for example, this shirt. I totally created this shirt off of Shopify. And I really like it. It is part of my personality. I used to play WoW. I'm definitely into role-playing games. It's like, I like my little persona. And at least as far as what I've created on my shirts. Like, I like that sarcastic humor for myself, you know? And I'm proud of this. And I want to share it with other people who hopefully like those designs too. I know, like, there's how many billions of people on this world. Like, I cannot be the only one that's a total nerd that likes this stuff. So the thought of going back into corporate America, though, like, don't get me wrong, I'm applying for jobs since I, recently found myself out of one. I'm applying. I'm going through all of that. But I feel like a piece of my soul is being ripped out from me every time I go through and put an application in and go through all the hoops that have now become the job market. And it's just very, very soul crushing when you realize that, you don't really enjoy who you are and get any fulfillment from what you're doing. That's my biggest problem. Like, I don't really feel like me working for another company is really giving any sort of fulfillment or allowing myself to be me. Yeah, a lot of these companies sit there and say they want inclusiveness and they want, you to be your authentic self. If I was my authentic self, I would be effing fired. Like, no joke. Because my brutal honesty would probably offend somebody, especially in today's day and age. Like, can't even tell you, I would probably be fired. But anyways, if you're a part of the Gen X generation and over 40 club, I want to welcome you to my crazy and the journey that I'm about to start. You can expect me to be raw like this sometimes and be open about how I'm feeling, and sometimes you're just going to get me building Legos or gaming, or I might even at some point share the videos of my horses that I used to own and the stories of why I no longer have them in my life. I'm equestrian at heart. I love horses. They are a part of my soul that gives me peace. And I miss having them. So I might share with that. But I do want to stress that the content that I am thinking about putting out there, and as a fair warning, just so you know, it's going to probably have adult language. I'm not going to censor that. And I'm going to be real and honest. And at my age level, my content is not going to be for children. Like, they can watch the gaming stuff, but if you're okay with them hearing language, that's going to be doing that. So if I'm popping off and saying something that is completely like the C word or something else, I'm not going to edit that out. So if you don't want your kids having anything to do with that, please don't let them watch my content. I'm not editing myself for this to be for children. And by the way, like, I'm loud. That's kind of me in a nutshell. I try not to be, but I so am totally loud. So if I sound completely out there, no joke. It's just my voice, and I have a really hard time using my inside voice. But gaming is me letting off steam and having fun. I'm also thinking about starting a podcast. I was thinking about calling it GreedThreads After Dark because honestly, some of the conversation pieces or some of the things I think about when I'm designing these shirts for, like, this right here, like, kind of want to talk about it, Like, this one says, I am 99% angel, but that 1%, and that is definitely me. That is who I am at the core. So yeah, if at some point down the future, I might be starting a podcast. If you guys have any thoughts for topics that you'd like to cover or things you'd like to talk about in the over 40 club, peri-menopause, our age group and those topics, I'd love to talk about it with somebody else, because the main thing that I really want to do is find my tribe, find the people who are out there that are kind of like me, and get back to a version of myself where I feel happy and I feel like smiling and I feel like I am part of myself again. I want to know I'm not alone. So anyways, sorry. If you have any sarcastic, short, punchy one-liners, or things that you'd like to see on a t-shirt and you really, really would like one, you know what? Drop me a comment. Send me a message. Let me know. I might actually consider putting it on my site. And if I do that, I'll send you a free t-shirt. Let's go with that. I want to thank anybody who tuned in to watch this. If you liked the video, I'd ask that you click that like button and subscribe. I plan to be posting new videos and streams weekly. So there's going to be definitely more crazy, sarcastic weirdness coming. And for my gamers, the Assassin's Creed Black Flag ReSynched is at the top of my list to play in July. I plan on getting the collector's box for that. If it will actually show that it's available to purchase. At this point, it keeps saying sold out, and I'm a tad offended. But I really, really, really want to get back into that game for sure. So if you're wanting to get back into the franchise and compare notes on some of the old and the new content and to find the Easter eggs and be on, all up in that, be on the lookout for those videos, because in July, that's definitely something I'm going to work on. So thank you all again. I appreciate your time, and I hope that you're going to want to join and stay around for the weirdness. And I hope that I have helped somebody else find a little bit of confidence too and know that they're not alone as well. Thank you.